Yo, how's it going, people? Taking a small break from all this Otakuton madness. Maybe I should make a video ASAP about Otakuton that's coming up. Anyway, attending a convention soon, and right now I'm just jotting down shit while talking about a very recent issue concerning our good old friend Phil Fish. I know I spoke previously about the guy. I do not really like what he is doing. In a sense, the way he talks, I really dislike the guy. I just don't like the guy. And it's mostly because, simple issue, he does not know how to make the difference between stating your opinion and being a complete jackass. A lot of people, I've seen people just saying, oh wow, I wish I could talk to the game industry like that, you know? I wish I'd have this kind of balls when talking to game devs and to my fans, you know? And I'm pretty sure some people in the industry wish they could say that. Yeah, that's a very interesting aspect, yet there's a very, very simple concept that will just deter you or anyone with this train of thought from doing such things. It's easy. It's called, actually, you can give it multiple names, but word in the industry goes around really fast. And there's this thing that's called a reputation that, you acquire by saying stuff, doing stuff, having various action, and of course, speaking publicly. Now, when it comes to Phil Fish, already his reputation was, fucked over when it came to talking about Japanese game devs, clearly showing his ignorance when it comes to other titles, or even the titles that he should or attempted to play. Frankly, he opened his mouth when it came to game devs or Japanese game devs, never really thought about indie game devs in Japan or other smaller, not well-known studios. Thus, his reputation when it comes to understanding or knowing Japanese games has fell down. Other incident when it came to Marcus Beer, I think I spoke about it before. It was his first I'm gonna quit scenario. Okay, well, his reputation for taking interviews, because, he did turn down an interview with a specific magazine as they wanted to know what his thoughts are on Microsoft's new indie game dev support program. And of course, like a posh, he fucking turned it down. Posh being the term Marcus Beer called him. And I do commend the fact that he got called out on that because, let's be fair, any kind of indie game dev would have loved to have or partake in this interview and get that kind of publicity. Because it's not that easy for game devs, but this fucker was on his high horse. And yes, I'm gonna start being aggressive towards him. You will see why. This fucker thought he was on his high horse and could easily dismiss this kind of publicity. So, got called out, and there goes his reputation when it comes to taking interviews and criticism when it comes to Marcus Beers, who is officially a reporter, and of course gave him a good critique on his attitude by just calling him out on it. So, Phil Fish quit. And 2 strikes on his reputation. Actually 3 for whoever actually worked with him in Montreal. Because strike 3, we could say, would be the fact that he was working on Fez while he was at another game studio and not doing their work. So already he's crass when it comes to attitude and reputation. Now, recently this fuckwit opened his Twitter again. And here's the reason why I'm calling him fuckwit. Basically, he's been lashing out on Twitter saying, stop asking about Fez 2, you guys don't deserve it. Now, here's strike 4 at this point, reputation-wise, where I can't get to call him a fucking moron. Why? Because you do not want the drama. You want people to leave you alone. Here's a simple answer anybody who's had this much experience with the internet would tell you. Fucking close your Twitter, you stupid moron, and shut the fuck up. It's simple, right? You have issues on Twitter. You've already sparked drama. Shut up and close it. You don't want people hassling you about Fest 2. Okay, Phil Fish at Phil Fish. Close it. Make another one. Whatever. If you're so desperate to interact on Twitter, instead of, having a normal social life, because this guy obviously seems, and seeing his train of thought, his train of attitude, the guy obviously has a social problem. Definitely has a social problem. I'd say 80% sure that he does. The way he talks, the way he acts, and just, I'm going to open my Twitter, cuss you all out, and then close my Twitter. Social problem. So, already that just places him on the fuckwit aspect of my ratio, and many. And whoever wants to, whoever's been going, oh, wow, I wish I could talk like that. Here's reality hitting you in the face. Phil Fish has, let's say, a 30% chance of getting hired by any other game studio. Why? Because of his previous acts while working on other game studios. Working on your own game, you're supposed to work on their game. 2, your PR is ass. Nobody wants to be associated with ass PR. Except, if you have a lot of money like Don Matrix. But even now, we barely hear about Don Matrix. Why? He's in the Zynga cave. So, there goes that. And then, frankly, nobody wants a jackass on their team. And that's the main concern here. There's speaking your mind. It's one thing. The biggest example, let's make a small example here. I'm going to speak my mind right here. I dislike the AAA gaming industry. I don't like it. It is not for me. I'd rather play an indie game or go back to what I used to play. Or go with niche titles. Alright? That's speaking my mind. Now for the Phil Fish way. Anyone who plays AAA title is a piece of shit. See, I just pulled a Phil Fish. You just got fished. Straight up. I mean, you want another example of the Phil Fish when he came out against the YouTubers making videos on games and basically saying anyone making a video on, using video game content should give money to the developers, and then he closes Twitter. That's being a jackass. Why? You're not really starting a discussion. You're just poking out of your troll cave and then running back. And of course, recently he poked back out. So here's the thing. You don't want to have that kind of attitude. You wish you could go around with that kind of attitude, but this will burn bridges. And again, let's go with another example. If I started stating that kind of stuff at my workplace, or straight up going against my bosses directly, then here's the consequence of my actions. I would get fired. That's one thing. So I would be on the struggle to look for another job in a quick moment because I do have mortgages to pay, and I am not made out of money because I didn't release a very successful indie game. Phil Fish's current situation. But at the same time, word will go around. So whoever interacted with me and was burnt by my recent interaction will tell their friends. And that's a lot of doors being blocked just for, quote unquote, speaking my mind like a jackass. So this is why I gotta deter you all from acting like the fish. Frankly, it may look like a great and novel type of idea, but you will block doors. You will have a shit reputation, and good luck finding a job afterward. Well, exactly the good luck I hope Fish has, even though I do not want this kind of person in the industry. I haven't even played Fez. And right now, your recent action has deterred me from playing your fucking game. Why? Because I don't want to support a douchebag. Fuck, if your product is good, I'd better give my money to other products that could be either better or mild, but are made from people who give a fuck about their fans, people who actually aren't jackasses. So, admittingly, I gotta admit, there's the mixed bag aspect, and I can hear a lot of people who would say, well, look, some people like Don Matrix or John Riccatello look nice and are not acting like jackass mode most of the time, so would you give them money instead? And that's a very terrific question at this point. There's image, and at the same time, when it comes to Riccatello and Matrix, there's also the company aspect. I don't support Xbox for that little show of hand that they've pulled off last E3 or E3 2 years ago. So there's that. I don't support EA because of the recent bullshit that they've had with Battlefield, and overall their radical changes to studios that did not need it. And also they do take most of their studios out back and shoot them in the head. Maxis, other studios, Saboteur, remember those. So it's difficult, it's harsh. If I didn't know that they were basically acting out like that or acting like that, then maybe I would have still gave them money, depending on if there's a product I like. Yet I'm not even going to buy, or I'm not even interested in Battlefield Hardline, so they're still not getting my money. So it's weird, it's difficult, and frankly I guess I haven't answered that one yet. Again, the biggest tip I can give you guys when it comes to the industry or just life in general, don't be a fucking jackass. Even when it comes to online interactions, people will remember, words will pass around, and people will know you as that one jackass that started cussing out an entire gaming community or a whole gaming demographic. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen to the fish, but he's good parody. And after I'm done with this really quick and botched inking, because man, I can't seem to ink for shit. Already, you can feel my nose is getting clogged up, so I'm starting to stutter like crazy. And yeah, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen with the fish. On my end, I'm gonna try not to be a jackass at Otakutan, which is quite easy, because I'm not a jackass when it comes to people. Unless you're a troll. If you're a troll, go fuck yourself. Well, isn't that the usual rule? You know, if you're a troll, go fuck yourself, blah blah blah. Anyway. Okay, that's about it, man, for the fish. Remember, guys, don't be jackasses, because it will be remembered, your reputation will go around, and there will be doors blocked. As for me, I'll do a small vlog about the whole Otakutan, the setup, the artwork that's going to be there, and what's being planned. But hopefully either tonight, tomorrow, or when I get better. Till then, you can be 200% sure you'll have better artwork than this shoddy inking at Otakutan. God damn, I really want my scanner back. I gotta purchase another scanner because I can't keep taking screenshots and or pictures, I should say pictures, and then just inking them. Anyhow, I'm out. Later, people, and don't go fishing for trouble, or you'll be filled with a shit reputation. Something like that, alright? Later, people.